ebiz.com Private Limited, a vision to reality.
Hello friends, finally we have come to the last and the most interesting series, that is our 6th module of the whole computer educational series. Today, due to innovation of the information technology, every aspect of life has become very comfortable. Due to IT magic, even farmers can sell and purchase their crops in international markets and also get knowledge and advanced techniques of farming at this own place. It has the knowledge to operate this little magic. Do you know, nowadays it's not required to waste your time on traditional posts. You can send your message in few seconds through the mail. How simple life has become. Well, pertaining to the mail service or letter service, whatever you want to call it, I would like to share something with you all. Few years back, if anybody from our family used to go abroad, then we used to wait for years and years actually to see them. But now, you can see and even talk to them anytime by spending a little amount of money like 10 to 20 rupees an hour sitting on the internet and sending them a mail, or in fact, chatting online when the other person is actually on the other side of the line. You're sitting here in India and talking to the person at that very current moment. These days, there is no need to stand in queue for hours and hours to book your railway tickets or for your payments for your electricity bills, telephone bills. Now you can just do it from your own place. Now you just have to sit on the computer on the net and actually go to a particular site where you have to clear the bills. As simple as that. You don't have to go and stand in those long queues and waste your time and energy. Education becomes very easy and affordable because of internet. Today, you can get any type of education degree from your home, or even you can learn about any topic for that matter. All the information is available on the internet through online tutorials which are available to you 24 hours. If you want any information on a particular topic, then you can simply get it through search engines. Even you can see your favorite movie or listen to your favorite kind of songs sitting on the internet. Further, moving on, in present days, as today we see, if you are searching for a job, then you can post your portfolio on the net. You don't have to go to different job centers actually distributing your portfolio. This way you can get your required jobs very easily and conveniently, all thanks to the internet. With online banking, you can transfer your money from your account to another account all over the world. So, this way you see, internet is becoming our heartbeat. And we really can't expect our life to be without internet. So, the main question is, what is internet? Internet is a computer network made up of thousands of networks worldwide. No one knows exactly how many computers are connected to the internet. A computer network refers to a computer connected by telephone wires or other methods in order to communicate with other computers. It is common to refer to the internet as the net. Sounds little technical. I will take an example. You have a telephone, but it is not attached to the local telephone exchange. In this case, neither you will be able to make or receive any calls. Similarly, if you have a computer, but it's not connected to the internet service provider, then your computer cannot communicate with other computers, and other computers cannot communicate with your computer. So this is what? It is an interconnection of all the computers worldwide which come together and get connected, making the world much smaller. You may have heard a lot of these terms. Well, World Wide Web, browser, etc. World Wide Web is a collection of documents called web pages. Web pages are actually produced and stored independently throughout the world by people with computers linked to the internet. Web pages can contain information on any subject. Most importantly, a web page can have links to other related web pages. And browser is a software program for getting information from the World Wide Web. Internet Explorer is a browser, or we can say if you look at this web page, you'll find a lot of buttons and text. These are tools to move around the World Wide Web. Just like every household, every page on the internet has a unique address. I have mentioned that to you a couple of times before. Going further, just like every household, every page on the internet has a unique address. An address on the internet is called URL. Well, Uniform Resource Locator. For example, http://www.ebzel.com, an internet address appears like this, as you can see on the screen. Moving further, you can click on a link to move from one location to another. How you can do that? Browser will automatically move you to the address referenced by the link. Type the page address in the location box, which is right below the toolbar. To do this, select the text in the box and type the address. Internet addresses are case sensitive. For example, if you type an address like http://www.ebzel.com/ebizAwardsHTM, you must type Ebiz Awards with lowercase Ebiz Awards. If you type Ebiz Awards with an uppercase, then browser will not find the page you want. Electronic mail is very fast compared to the traditional post office. As we all know, how long does the letters take to reach each other? If somebody, one of our loved ones, are sending us a letter from Canada for that matter, it might take a couple of days, unless it's sent through other mode. Well, through net, mails reach like this, without a span or a second. You send the mail and it's received there, if the server or the person on the other side of the computer is actually sitting on the net. Well, moving on, you compose your note, get the address of the person and send it. There might be a question in your mind, how can I use the internet effectively? Well, you can do it through a search engine. A search engine allows you to find World Wide Web pages or other material on the internet for that matter that contains specific words or phrases. For instance, if you want to find information about India Gate, what you can do, you can type the name, click on the search button, and the search engine will return to a list of all web pages that contain information about India Gate. So basically you can find out information from scratch about anything that you want to, from very basic to very technical. All the information is available on the net. You just have to make the search engines active. Well, moving on, click on the Internet Explorer to start the internet. A screen like this will be opened as displayed in front of you. Well, the title bar at the very top of the window will tell you the title of the page you are viewing. This title bar has many different menus and submenus, which actually controls all the options, functions, and commands for the entire Internet Explorer. This toolbar contains all of the most frequently used commands and all of the browsing functions. Well, under the toolbar is the address bar. This will tell you the exact URL location of the page you are currently viewing. You can actually type a web address directly into this bar and then press enter to go to that site. Well, below the address bar is the link bar. These buttons will actually take you to the pages at Microsoft's main home site where they have application and information specifically designed for your easy use. The bottom of the page is the status bar. It tells you the status of the site downloaded. This is the main Explorer toolbar. About this, the back button, this button takes you to the previous web page visited. The forward button, what it does is, this button takes you forward to the next page you want to visit. The stop button stops any operations by Internet Explorer. It will stop any type of file from loading. The refresh button, well, what does it do? Simple again, this button will reload the current web page. The home button, this button will return you onto the page you have selected as the default startup page for the Internet Explorer. The search button, again very basic and very simple. This button will take you to the page you have selected as the default web search page for Internet Explorer. If you have not selected a page, then it will take you to Microsoft's default search page. The Favorites button. In this button, actually, we open up the favorite menu. You can choose a favorite that you wish to go from the list, add a favorite to the list, or organize your favorite from this menu. For example, during internet surfing, you will get a very good site, which you will want to surf again. Then you can add it to your favorites menu and can surf again anytime by clicking on the URL from your favorite menu without remembering the whole URL. Isn't that nice? You don't lose sight of things. You can always come back to things that you really like by adopting this method. Further moving on, quite an educational trip for all of you. I know everybody must be tired, but I think it is a very interesting session and I'm quite liking it. The print button. This is to take the printout of the complete web page. The font button. Now what is it? You can modify the font size according to your comfort level of reading. How accommodating. Sometimes you have certain eye problems. You can always change the font size according to which is more convenient for your sight. Well, the mail button. What is it? It is simple. This button opens up a drop menu from where you can select to read and send an email. After pressing read or send mail, it will open your mail client for reading or sending mails. Example, Microsoft Outlook. When you browse the web for the first time, you obviously may face a lot of difficulty. Well, efficiently browsing the web is just like another complex task in life. We face so many problems. These are one of the complex tasks, but you'll definitely, once you get into it, you'll get accommodated of the ways of actually operating it. Internet Explorer has some built-in features which help to make it easier for you to browse the web. The fastest way to get to a place that you can search from it is to click on the search button on the Internet Explorer main toolbar. This button will take you to a document within Microsoft's home site. On this document, you will find a choice of categories to actually look through and a list of search engines to use. A search engine is an application that will attempt to find any documents that contain the subject or phrase that you enter into the search parameters. Well, actually looking for a place that you really need to find on the search engines, you can manage finding a great deal of information about it for that matter. Talk about a small pin or talk about an elephant. All the information is there in the internet. If you really want to seek it, all you have to do is go on the search engines. Like sometimes you try and memorize things and you really nag your brains at it. Similarly, computer is the same thing. It has a vast memory that we can't imagine. And it has a vast storage capacity. It has all the information that you can get and you could be looking for. Places from Honolulu to Goa. All the information is available right here. You can also browse through the categories of websites that the search engines have already organized for you. Another important thing for you to remember when you first begin browsing the web is that if you know the web address of the site, you don't need to use search engine to find the page you wish to visit. You have to just go up to the address bar at the top of the line where you can actually click on it. Now you can type the web address of the site you want and then press enter. Internet Explorer will go to this site directly. So it is very simple. You only click on the search engines when you do not know the exact name of the site and you want information on it. Downloading files from the links. You can even download the documents like musics, videos, etc. from the internet. For downloading, right-click on link, then a shortcut menu will appear. From this menu, choose Save Target As. Then a file save dialog appears. In this, you have to fill in name to save and press Save button in the dialog box. But it depends on the site that the site is allowing you to download or not. You can also save images by simply right-clicking on the image and choosing Save Picture As. To print the entire document, click on the file, then click on Print command, or to print a specific area, select the area you want to print. and click on File Print and then click on Selection and press Print button. Okay, now we will learn how to send emails. Talking about emails, what and how to go about them, I'm going to teach them to you now. To become an email user, first of all, you need to have an email account. We all have to, like we have our addresses where the mails come, where we stay. Similarly, to keep in touch through the net, through emails, sending emails and receiving emails, we have to have a sort of an address, which is called nothing but an email ID. What happens, there are many companies which provides email account facility. To create an email account, first you need to give the information like your name, address, secret question and its answer, username, password to it. All these things have to be filled in before your ID is actually made. Like, all of us receive mails by post on our address. The postman reaches to us through our addresses. Similarly, you will have to give an email address to receive emails. Password is something like key of your account, example bank lockers. By giving the password, you can access your email account. Remote access. What is actually remote access? It is an access to your mail that has actually been sent to you. You don't have to use the same computer to access your email. You can access it remotely, anywhere in the world. For example, you have created an email account in India, and you can access your email account sitting in Canada at the same time. You just need to remember your username and password. If actually somebody is writing a letter to you on your address and somebody writes the wrong address, you don't get the letter. But in this case, it can be the change of computers, a computer in India, a computer in Canada, anywhere. It's the connection that matters. And if the right email address is actually printed, then you will definitely receive your email, no matter what. But your username and password have to be perfect for you to actually connect to the connection and see the mail that has been sent to you. Email address. Each user is given a particular email address, which is different from the others. Like your name and street address differentiate you from your house and your neighbors. Mail address is usually your username plus the domain name of the server through which you normally gain access to the internet with a @ symbol in between. For example, peterkumar@ebizel.com. As you can see, your username is Peter Kumar and the domain name is ebizel.com. Your username doesn't necessarily have to be your real name. It can be a variation of any other name of your own choice, any names that you really like. For example, you like a place called Paris. You can keep the name as Paris. So you can really play around with your addresses. It doesn't have to be your own real identity that you actually given when you fill in the address. Well, for example, pk123@ebizel.com. Emails are treated more casually than a formal letter. For example, you just want to know about the delivery of your goods. Then you can email like, "Hello, have you got the delivery?" These messages are often less formal than letters and can sometimes be as short as a single word. Traditionally, letter takes time to reach, so we want to send everything at the same time in a very formal way. But emails you can send every day with a few seconds and it's much cheaper than a post. Because you can send a number of letters in only 5 or 10 rupees. Imagine how cheap it is. Recipient's name and address. You cannot send an email without having other person's full email address. Without it, it's like mailing an envelope without any address on it. Obviously, if you don't have any address written on the letter that you're sending to your loved one, it'll definitely be lying nowhere but in the post office. Similarly, you have to have the address of the person, email address of the person rather, you're sending the mail to. Just as you would put the person's name and address on the envelope, you would put their email address comprised of their username and domain name on the email message. You can include their real name in the message also. Most of the email packages allow you to set up an email address book so that you only need to click on the name of the person you would like to send the message to. All you need to do is use the automatic addressing feature to transfer the address to your new message. You would normally put your return name and address on the back of an envelope, which you always do. You always write in case the letter does not reach the recipient, then it should come back to you. Here, because the message can be returned to you if there is a problem, then you don't have to write it. Obviously, you're sending it through a net connection. You can include this on your email software also when you set it up so that it does the same with the email messages you send. How to create an email account on Yahoo. You type http://mail.yahoo.com in the web browser. Click on Sign up for Yahoo near the top. Fill out all the necessary fields in the screen such as your name, country, ID, username, password, secret question and its answer, date of birth, alphanumeric code shown in the screen, etc., etc. Click I agree at the center bottom of the page to accept the agreement. Click on Continue to Yahoo Mail to start using your account. After this step, your mail account will be created. How to send a message? Well, important to know, for sending mail to go, http://mail.yahoo.com, enter your username and password in the space provided and press Sign in. Once you press the Sign in button, you have logged into your Yahoo account. You can send email to any valid email address once you've logged onto your account. Click Compose, located towards the top of the page to begin composing a new message. In the To field, specify the recipient's email address. To send your message to more than one person, add additional email addresses separated by commas. Sometimes you want the email to go to more than one person. There is a space bars that are provided there. You can write so that it will be forward to the main person you are sending to and at the same time rest of the people also. Note that you must always specify at least one recipient in the To field. If you do not, error message will appear when you attempt to send the message. CC carbon copy field. What about this now? Well, you can forward a copy of your message to the user you include here. All you need to do is include their email addresses in this section. To add an entry on the CC field, click the Add CC link above the To field. Then in the CC field, enter the email addresses of those who you would like to send the carbon copy CC of your message to. All other recipients of that message will be able to see if that person you designated as a CC has received the copy of that message. BCC, Blind Carbon Copy field. This field allows you to send a copy of a message to someone else without an original recipient knowing. To add an entry in the BCC field, click the Add BCC link above the To field. Then in the BCC field, enter the email addresses of those whom you would like to send a blind carbon copy BCC of your message. This is nearly identical to the CC feature as we had done this before the BCC. Except that BCC recipients are invisible to the To and CC recipients of the message as well as to each other. For example, if you send a message to Amit@yahoo.com with a BCC to Sumit@yahoo.com, then Amit will see himself as the message's only recipient, while Sumit will see that you have also sent the message to Amit. Subject field. In the subject field, enter the subject of your message. For example, if you want to wish somebody happy birthday, you write happy birthday. If it's just a hi and a hello, then you write hello or good luck, etc., etc. Attach file button. Documents can also be attached to email messages. To attach a document or other type of digital file to an outgoing message, select Attach File button. A standard dialog box will be displayed. When you have selected a file, click the Attach Files button to attach the selected files to your message. Repeat these steps to attach multiple files. You can send all types of files as attachments, including word processor, spreadsheet, documents, audio files, image files, .bmp, .jpg, .gif, etc. and etc. Web pages saved as HTML files and more. Message body field. You can enter your message text here. Whatever you want to write, you have to write it here. Well, what is the send button? What does it do? I had told you before, if you're sending mails, you just have to click on the send button and it actually delivers the mail that you have written. In this case, the message will be delivered after clicking on the send button to the email addresses you have entered to CC and BCC fields. Checking for new emails, how you can do that, how you can actually go about checking a new email received from somebody else to you. Well, very simple. To check if there is any new email, you have to log in to your email software with your account. After login, you have to click check mail. With that, what will happen is after pressing that button, you will be transferred into your inbox. And the inbox actually shows you the new messages received in bold. For viewing these messages, you have to click on the message, whichever message you actually want to view. I hope this much is very, very clear because it's very basic and very simple. And internet is very accessible. If you really explore, you can learn these things on your own. And when you actually sit on the net and surf it, whatever I'm telling you will become crystal clear to you. Okay, moving on, reply command. What is a reply command? After reading your mail, you can reply to the person with the help of a reply button. Obviously, when somebody writes you a letter, don't you all reply back? Of course, we all do. I write letters back. But now with the help of a net, I mail the person back with the help of a reply button. What happens? The program automatically inserts the sender's email address and by default the same subject header. You have the option of including the original text in the message when you reply so that you can refer to the points in it. Deleting mails. Now, some of the mails you don't require. They're just lying as junk mails. Well, you can delete them. What does this deleting mails do? If you want to delete emails, then you have to check the check boxes provided at the starting of each message. Then press delete button, which is near the top of the message. What are bounced emails? Well, let's come to it. Occasionally, what happens is you will get sometimes mails which are returned back to you. They are bounced back. Why? This happens if you type the address incorrectly or the user has cancelled their account. It will be returned to you with an error message telling you why it couldn't be delivered. Like, this message could not be delivered as there was no email account or mailbox of this person. It will specify there why your mail has been rejected and sent back to you on your inbox. It is very important to get the address exactly right, including all underscores and full stops. So it is very important that you have the right address. If you have to write 154 and post a letter and you write 153, it will definitely go to the wrong address. Similarly happens when you mail a person. If you don't write the same email ID, then either the ID does not exist, it will let you know, or if you're sending it to a wrong ID, it will not accept it and you will get a mail back. So friends, this is all about internet. We gave you very basic information, but there is so much to know, and that you can actually explore and find out for yourself. You will learn it more by practicing. Now, let's come to a very important term used often in computers called troubleshooting. You all must be wondering, what is this troubleshooting? Well, don't worry, quite troublesome, but it doesn't pertain to that shooting. You know what shooting I'm talking about. Computer, like all of us who go through health problems, is also a gadget which is made of electronics, wires and so many other things. It can get complicated and cause trouble so many times when we are working at it. This is what you call troubleshooting. Troubleshooting has variations in terms of problems that can occur depending on the different situations. That's what we are going to study in troubleshooting. Coming to it, the first under troubleshooting is the hang state of computer. What is it? Well, sometimes due to system or program errors, your computer might hang. That is, it will be running, but you will not be able to use any commands. You might not be able to use the mouse pointer also. Why does that happen? If this happens, you are unable to shut down the Windows. Try pressing Ctrl plus Alt plus Delete only once. This will open a dialog box that will help you shut down the program that is causing you error. or shut down the computer if necessary. Be careful. By shutting down the computer in this way, you can lose on any unsaved information you were working on. This should only be done if you are unable to shut down the Windows from the Start menu. Exception errors is another category of problems that comes under troubleshooting. Exception errors, Windows. Fatal exception errors are codes returned by programs when there is a problem. They can be caused in invalid data or code, or by an instruction in the program that has performed an illegal operation. Illegal does not mean unlawful here, mind you. Nobody will call the police, but rather performing an operation which is not allowed by the program, or when the program does not know how to handle. It happens when you attempt to shut down, start Windows, or running a program. They can also be caused by device drivers or applications, like video drivers, which are not properly debugged. In such cases, it's best to look at troubleshooting or support section of the device manufacturer and see if the problem is mentioned and perhaps there exists a new driver that you can download from the internet. Error Message Explorer. This program has performed an illegal operation and will be shut down. If the program persists, contact the program vendor. Explorer caused an invalid page fault in the module unknown at 0000.be0012AO and so on and so forth. Solution. What is the solution to it actually? Very simple. Press Ctrl plus Alt plus Delete once. With this action, you will get a window called End Task Window. Here you can see all the applications running in your computer. Now, close all the applications in this window except Systray and Explorer. If computer is still not responding, then restart the computer. If you want more information on these topics covered, please visit us at www.ebizel.com, ebizel.com. Well, for now, we are coming at the end of the session. You will learn more by practicing it on your own. My lecture was quite clarifying enough. If you have any doubts, please feel free to come and ask me.
Ma'am, what is URL?
Well, URL is nothing but a uniform resource locator. What happens is, it is the address of the web. Logically, it is a character format, that is www.ebizel.com, and physically it is digital, like 202.71.128.199.
Ma'am, what are the requirements to run internet?
Well, it is very simple. To get started with the internet connection, the first and the foremost thing that you really need is a modem. Then you need is a telephone connection and also an internet service provider. I hope I'm audible enough. Can everybody hear me? Okay friends, we've come to the end of the final session, that is our 6th module. I hope you all were equally entertained. I will definitely see you when we come out with our EBIZ next series. Till then, goodbye and take care.
So friends, hope you enjoyed as well as learned the basics of computer education. I wish you all the best and good luck.
ebiz.com Private Limited, a vision to reality.